Hey, here we are right here at the Lone Star Sports Show, the Lone Star Sports Network. Just sitting down there, taking a look at more head-shaking Cowboy statistics, another angle on the situation. 90,466 people showed up out at Jerry's World last night. You got the Lone Star Sports Show right here on the Lone Star Sports Network. Today's show is brought to you by FastModelSports.com. FastModelSports.com is located in Chicago, Illinois, where they are leading basketball into the 21st century through the vehicle of technology and through the personality of my man, CEO and founder Ross Comerford. Getting it all done. Go take a look at FastModelSports.com. All right, deck down to the nitty gritty, what the head shaking is all about. You know, I said that I could watch last night's game and I did not have to go and look at statistics. But for some reason or another, I just found myself wandering over in idle time and retaking a look at the statistics again, just to get some kind of perspective on how bad the Cowboys are in production / decision making / coaching / game planning / execution, and how not so bad they are in the personnel standpoint. You say, okay, Branch, why is it, that you, AB, can say that's true? Okay, when you look at the personnel, I don't think anybody would argue that Ezekiel Elliott is potentially a top 5 running back in the league. Probably closer to the top than in the bottom of the top 5. Nobody's going to argue that fact. We have had a chance to see with our own eyes, with the right system and the right play calling and the right environment, that Dak Prescott is a serviceable quarterback. We didn't say that he's Brent Favre. We didn't say that he's Aaron, my man with Green Bay. We didn't say that he's my guy down at with the Saints. We didn't say that he's not Drew Bledsoe, but my guy with the Patriots. Any of those guys. We didn't say that he is a Hall of Famer type or he's a top 5 or top 10 quarterback, but he is more than serviceable, and we proved that in 2016, 13-3 behind the leadership of Dak Prescott. So it's doable there. Offensive line, yeah, we've taken some dinks and dunks, but considerable before the dinks and the dunks, we would potentially say that the Cowboys were top 4 or 5 in offensive lines in the NFL. We definitely have a void in the situation with our tight end situation. There's obviously a void there, but we turn back around and we're able to come back in and be with Cole Beasley, and when Michael Gallup and some of the other guys, Trayvon Austin, we've lost to injury and is not playing, and then you go out and you trade, a very, very, very good trade, and get on Amari Cooper, and one outing. He's 5'8", 58 yards, 11.16 averaging, long of 19, and get 58 yards, like I said earlier there, and 5 first downs and 1 touchdown. So he was productive. That was a good get. So everything's there on the offensive ball. Defensively, we turn back around and we look at the defensive backs and overall production as a defense, and we are solid in that area. So when you look there, you say, I don't think when you look at statistically, eye test, any way you want to look at it, Dallas Cowboys, 32 teams in the NFL, they're somewhere between 10 and 16 from a personnel standpoint, proven. And then you flip back around, and on the production side, you're sitting there in the situation that you are in now, with after losing last night, and you produce they probably have fallen down prior to the game. They were in the 27, 28 range in the bottom group, as we like to say here at the Lone Star Sports Network, of that area. Okay, so if you got this kind of talent and this kind of ability, then but your production is over here. I mean, this is in any business. Anytime that you have all of the means, if you walk into the studio of Lone Star Sports Network, and we got the mixers and the MacBook is sitting there, and the Wi-Fi is sitting there with all the lights lit up on it, and we got all the iPads and mixing boards and mic stands and earphones, and the power is on, and everything is here to produce, and you got a prepared talent like myself, and all the personnel in place. But for some reason or other, the show can't go off consistently. Well, we got to take a look at management. That's where this whole thing falls down to. And it's really not, it's not Jerry's fault. It's because it's a problem that makes it Jerry's fault, because that's where the buck stops. And so the shaking of the head of it is that I spent so much time in the past 3 to 4 to 5 weeks talking about what it was that potentially would give a quarterback like Dak Prescott an opportunity to be successful, the necessity or the need for a running back like Ezekiel Elliott. Well, you turn back around, ran 56 plays last night. Out of 56 plays, you only had 19 rushing attempts. So you're down the low end there, and all of those rushing attempts weren't Zeke only probably had 14 or 15 rushing attempts. And we all agree that he should be in the 22, 24 range on a bad day and closer to the 26 range on a good day. Okay, you have that not going on. So, you got total rushing yards of 72 rushing yards. I mean, it's it's a sad situation. And, you look at the turnovers that took place last night. They were equal, but you weren't playing a good team. It could have been worse than it was. But you got beat by a team that I would call not quite the worst team in the league, but back down in that bottom group performers. And so you got handled by a bottom group, even though your talent is better. So we got a coaching problem now that we're getting around to it. Let's just lock it down and get to the real nitty-gritty of it. We have a coaching problem, and the coaching problem gives us the reason that to understand why it is that we have a Jerry Jones problem. We have an ownership problem. The weird thing about it is Jerry Jones just refuses to accept the fact that he is not capable of general managership, if there's a such word.
Right.
The management nature of he's not capable of doing that at the high rate. First of all, Jerry, let's just be honest about it. You are not going to put the time in to evaluate and scout. I'm a basketball scout for a living. It is a lot of work evaluating and comparing and understanding what players are.
It's very time consuming.
Very time consuming. Jerry's a billionaire, and he's an old billionaire that doesn't feel like doing a whole lot all the time every day. And then we're talking about a 14 to 16 hour a day job, sometimes 7 days a week. Jerry's not going to do all of that. No. And he's not even going to manage the process. It's often, I've had various scouts to come in and be a part of TexasBoysBasketball.com, and y'all know him as Unnie the Prince here on station, is one of the guys been with me about 20 months now, I think somewhere there in about 18, 19, 20 months. And even with all that he does, which is a tremendous amount, it still requires a level of intensity on my part to manage the process. Jerry, and that's for a small regional scouting service. Right. Managing we're not talking about managing $1 billion entity with all of this personnel in place. It's nuts. What is it? What a middle of the road talent team can't. Why is it that a middle of the road talented team can't overcome and get out of the bottom group and perform to their expectations? It's coaching and management. it's personnel. It's all of the different things. They're hit and miss, and then you turn back around and you look at the predictability of the offensive coordinator. The offensive coordinator, it's kind of like two little kids. Offensive coordinator blames it on Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett blames it on the offensive coordinator. Well, let's get rid of both of their ass.
Right.
That was my mama used to do. When they come home and he did it, she did. We were going to whoop everybody, make sure we don't miss.
Well, it's just funny that what they did was fire the O-line coach. Like that was the problem.
His guys were performing. They gonna fire the O-line coach. They wasn't even home when the incident took place.
Yeah.
And you just look at, I mean, and I showed you all the nature of it. You know, the funniest thing is we get ready to go to break. The quarterback for it was a play. I started to bring it to the set tonight with the Los Angeles Rams. His name is it Derek Goff, or whatever, the golf kid, the quarterback out there, which is a good quarterback. I wouldn't call him great, but he's talented. Mm-hmm. And they had the perfect play where they said, I can't believe you don't see that anymore. He threw the ball on the break when the receiver came from behind the defense and the ball was right there. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you watched the game or not, but it was the big game between the Saints and the Rams.
Well, there's night and day. You talk about coaching personnel, golf last year, and even this year, it's night and day.
Man, let me tell you something. People say it takes players, and don't get me wrong, talent is ever so important. I've already identified how important it is as we go to break. That's what puts them into. We got my man chiming in here, but that's what we got. Jimmy Cox, Commissioner Cox, you in, man? We get ready to go to break right here, man. I already chopped them up pretty good, and I'm gonna let you come back.
I'm gonna end this thing.
You in this thing? We're gonna give you two good segments, 3 good segments of Dallas Cowboy. We're not going the full night tonight, and we're gonna jam it all the way in. But we got Commissioner Cox right here in Oak Cliff, Texas, bringing it to us like it is. Tonight, y'all might call him controversial Cox. We're going to be gentle, but we're going to be persistent and direct to the point. We ain't going to be too hard. And Cox might be a little harder on y'all than I'm going to be. But, hey, buckle your seatbelts. We'll be back in 180 seconds with more Lone Star Sports Show. We got my main man, Commissioner Cox, Alan Branch, Lady Life, and the Prince, Under Your Money, doing what it does. Back in 180 seconds with more Lone Star Sports Show. This particular segment was brought to you by HardhamHotels.com. HardhamHotels.com is located down in the Bayou City. Go take a look and see how you can put your money where you sleep. Right back at you.
Hardham Hotels. Make money where you and millions of others spend money. Hardham Hotels Investment and Development Group's primary disciplines include hotel acquisitions, hotel development, hotel project management, as well as asset and partnership management. At Hardham Hotels, we invest in upscale focused service and extended stay hotel properties, mainly in Texas and other major urban markets. We are hotel owners, developers, investors, and asset managers persistent in our pursuit of successful ventures and passionate about our products. We provide nationally branded investment opportunities, including Hilton, Marriott, and Hyatt hotel franchises. Hardham Hotels strategically places the right product in the right location for the right customer. Get started with us today. Visit us online at www.hardhamhotels.com. Hardham Hotels, put your money where you sleep.
Hey, here we are back here at the Lone Star Sports Show. Today's show is brought to you by FastMallSports.com. Go take a look and see how they are leading basketball into the 21st century through the vehicle technology right off of the Lake Michigan right there on Michigan Avenue in Chicago, Illinois. Go take a look at fastmallsports.com and all the many products that they're producing. We appreciate their support and ongoing promotion of the Lone Star Sports Network. All things sports, all things Texas. Like I said, we got our regular football analyst specialist in-house tonight, Jimmy Cox, Commissioner Cox, controversial Cox.
What's going on, Coach? What's up, man?
Man, I tell you what, I came off that first deal, Coach. You know how when them running backs guys get one of them big plays, and you have to just bring him back out and sit him down for a little bit and give him a little oxygen, Coach. I just came off a big play. You might just need to give me a little oxygen right there. I'll let you go. You got to sub in for me. I'm going to tell you where I left off before I passed the baton to you. I already broke it down. The thing is it management, which we don't even have a general manager. We have an owner, a billionaire owner trying to be a manager. Is it the head coach or is it the offensive coordinator? You know, it's like two little boys trying to blame what happened. You know how Mama used to just whoop everybody? Just fire both of their ass. And be through with it. You know,
the thing is this. Jerry Jones has been so successful in so many ways. Mm-hmm. He has been innovative in all of his marketing. Mm-hmm. He's been innovating in branding. Mm-hmm. He's been innovative in making money for the league. Mm-hmm. In all those areas, Jerry Jones has been innovative. Yeah. He's been a trendsetter in every way except one way.
Winning football games.
The game of football has changed, and Jerry has not changed with it. Right. Nor does he surround himself around young, innovative, and I'm not going to necessarily say young,
but innovative.
Andy Reid, innovative people with a different thought process in order to change because the talent is different, the evaluation process is different.
The game is different.
The game is totally different, and Jerry has.
This is not the game what's his name? Norv Turner was your offensive coordinator.
Norv Turner has made that adjustment.
He made the adjustment too, right?
Look how well he is doing right now. Look how well Cam is clicking with Norv. Jerry has just failed miserably in that position, and it just affects the organization. You know, the bottom line is Jerry is just made this a thing of entertainment, and he's not committed to do whatever it takes to win a championship.
It is not entertaining, and excuse my French, it is not entertaining getting your ass whooped on a regular basis. There's nothing entertainment about it. Y'all got to take that entertainment shit somewhere else because there's nothing entertainment about losing all the time. You know.
Well, the problem is that as long as the stands are full, Jerry's going to entertain. This is an absolute mess from the top to the bottom. Jason's a mess. Jerry's a mess. And Dak, offensive coordinator. The offensive coordinator. But, you know, I'm going to be honest with you. Coach, I'm just not sure.
Okay. I'm
not sure how much it is I can put on Linehan, and because this offense was a higher-ranking offense with Linehan as the coordinator, with Romo, Dez, and Witten, and Zeke. So it may be pretty tough on this guy to have to deal with this quarterback. I mean,
well, okay, then that's what this is, controversial Cox. Now, I'm gonna disagree with you there. You know, one thing I do know about coaching, you know, and that's what I do for a living. Do you coach and game plan according to your personnel, or do you coach and game plan according to the system that you like? You can't have a pressing defense and a trapping defense in basketball if you don't have the athletic lateral ability to be able to execute that style. So you always have to coach according to your personnel. You saw, and that's where we're going to get Linehan a break, because in year one, 2016, they were 13-3 with a style that fit a training wheel quarterback. Coach, you got a training wheel quarterback in Dak Prescott.
Well, I just think though, as people prepare for him, he's not living up to what he needs to live up to.
Because he's trying to do things he can't do.
And guess what? If he can't do those things, if he can't throw a ball out of the end zone, if he can't hit these guys when they open, he can't be a quarterback in the NFL. I mean, last night, a lot of talk has been talked about his time. Mariota kept his ass on the ground a lot last night. That kid was hit a lot.
Yeah.
And the difference is he is a Hall of Fame quarterback, and he has played at the highest level. But our defense put a lot of pressure on him last night. Our defense kept him on his ass quite a bit, but he still made big time throws to big time plays. Most fans don't even know 5 people that even play for the Tennessee Titans.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, Mariota was a high-level quarterback. We're talking about a high level. See, I go with the Snoop Johnson, Cowboy Snoop, and there was a reason why Dak Prescott was a 4th-round draft choice. It's because he tested out at the same level, which goes back to say you've got to create. You can't get over in the fast lane if you got one of them little 2-cylinder cars.
Coach, you got to leave that alone because you got everything else around Dak Prescott that's high level. So you got to go find your high level quarterback.
Well, I mean,
quickly.
I think I do agree that your aspiration is going to be there, and we'll get over to your general managership and your ability and where your scouting is. But if you got a billionaire, a 70-some-year-old billionaire dude that's in charge of making all the decisions, how hard do you think that a guy like Jerry Jones is able to work at being the general manager for the Dallas Cowboys? How much can you get out of it?
I don't think that the problem is that this family can't get out of its own way. So
they can't get out of his own way because they keep on getting in the way.
They can't get out of their own way. So, they're not going to get this. This is the corner store. This is the Jones grocery store, and this is just the way it's going to be. We don't care if you build a Walmart. The Jones grocery store is still going to do business the way that the Jones grocery store is going to do it because they've been doing it this way for 30 years. So that's not going to change. So Cowboy fans might as well get ready, buckle down, and continue to
ride this thing out.
Ride it out. We're going to just be a marginal team, and we're going to continue. But I'm going to tell you right now, be prepared.
Does this change with Steve? Go ahead.
Be prepared for Amari Cooper and be prepared for Ezekiel Elliott to look for new homes next year.
Yeah, I can see it. I mean, I can see it. If they ever
Ezekiel
get to
Elliott,
it's just like
and use this offense and allow the Cowboy organization to use numbers that they don't provide for him to not give him a max contract. Ezekiel Elliott is out of here.
Yep.
And Amari Cooper came here hoping to be this guy to get his numbers right so he could get a larger contract. He's going to be looking to get the hell out of here the same. So
their agent's going to be looking to get him out of here.
Because the agent's going to be working very, very hard. This entire offseason is going to be a mess. Hey, I think that Amari Cooper's a great receiver. I think he's a good kid. I think he can do very well. Mm-hmm. But we gave up a first-round pick.
Well,
we gave up a first-round pick.
I'm okay with that decision. You know what I mean?
I'm okay with that decision if we have somebody that can get this first-round pick the ball and would benefit from it.
I mean, but even if you had a first-round pick, you still would. I mean, anywhere it goes, you're going to have a certain amount of the problem. You're going to have to lay dead to get a quarterback. That's what I'm trying to convince here is that I'm not saying that the Dallas Cowboys are a NFC championship game team. I think they're potentially at their best. They're probably a 1-and-out first round. They have the talent to be 1-and-out in the playoff. You know, they have. There's no reason they shouldn't be able to win the NFC East. Are they not talented enough to win the NFC East? Yes or no?
Who, the Cowboys?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Oh,
absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
You disagree with me. I happen to say that absolutely yes. I mean, it's obvious of where they would be. They've dropped 2 games not to be in first place in the NFC East right now.
I just don't see. You know, maybe you're right.
You're a frustrated Cowboy fan right now. I mean, I feel.
I guess I'm just looking at this thing, saying to myself, our defense is. I mean, it's even unfair how bad we're looking at our defense. Like, oh, they couldn't stop these guys. They're exhausted. It's
no different. You want to see the exact same thing. You go look at tell me LSU's defense is not good. LSU defense is good. Well, hell, you get tired. You get tired. You can't chase them dudes around forever and ever and ever and ever. And these dudes just keep on 1, 2, 3 and out.
Jerry came out today and made a long-term commitment to Dak Prescott. So Cowboy fans might as well get prepared for a long-term commitment to mediocrity. So,
Coach, it's not even mediocrity, Coach. This is failure. Mediocrity is 8-8, Coach. Let me line you up.
failed in the last 20 years as his experiment to do it without Jimmy.
Man,
He's failed. He's failed.
I mean, he has, and when you come back from the break, we're gonna analyze where the failure and blame, and then we're gonna go into some basketball stuff. Night is opening night of college basketball season. We're going over to.
It is open, Coach. It is opening night.
Yeah, I'm going over to UTA to go support Cowboy Snoop over with the Mavericks over there in his first Division I college basketball coaching debut for Snoop Johnson. We're proud of him and excited and happy for him tonight. And we're going to go over and take a look at that over at the Mav Field House over there, with that beautiful facility they have, and go and support that process. And we'll be watching games on the phone while we're watching that game. It's going to be really, really busy, but we'll be back here in 108 seconds. We're going to analyze where is the failure, exactly where does it all line up and look and show up right now at the Lone Star Sports Show right here on the Lone Star Sports Network. This next segment was brought to you by the Thanksgiving Hoop Fest. This is the 10th year of the Thanksgiving Hoop Fest right there at Duncanville High School at Duncanville Field House, where you will see plenty of teams Thanksgiving weekend, the Friday and Saturday after Thanksgiving. You'll have plenty of things. The 10th year of it, McDonald's All-American prospects, 5-star players, entities from all over the country, so it'll be really exciting. You'll hear about the other event, so it'll be a hot weekend that weekend. So we're going to talk about some basketball. We're going to come back and look at this whole thing with the Dallas Cowboys a little bit closer and just come to a conclusion. I'm out. Hey, here we are back here at the Lone Star Sports Show on the Lone Star Sports Network right here on segment number 3. Today's show was brought to you by FastMallSports.com. This particular segment is brought to you by the Robert Hughes Hall of Fame, HOF Showcase. That'll also be going on. 2 quality events. You'll be able to have roughly 28 games in about 48 hours in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I think we're looking at somewhere around the neighborhood of about 65 or 70 Division I prospects. I think we probably have about 4 to 5 of your prospects that are your 5-star prospects. And talking about 5-star prospects, don't forget about the Cowtown Tip-Off Classic that'll be going over at North Crowley High School this coming Friday, November the 9th and 10th. The 10th is when you really want to be in there. We got 6 straight games. Yeah, 6 straight games going on there at North Crowley High School, and it is loaded. Pound for pound, it could be probably one of the best. Less fluff at the Cowtown Tip-Off Class. I went down. There's not a game in almost lined up from top to bottom that doesn't have at least 4 Division I prospects and 2 or 3 of your 3, 4, and 5-star prospects in it, all the way from top to bottom. I thought I was going to slip out. Here's how good the Cowtown Tip-Off Classic is. I thought I was going to slip out and go over to watch Northern Iowa and University of Texas at Arlington over a Division I Sun Belt game, a preseason game, and I can't even slip out. Do you see the last game of the day? Yeah, you go take a look at it.
Yeah, it's Duncanville and South Garland.
Yeah, Duncanville and South Garland.
Yeah, you can't leave.
You can't leave. You can't go nowhere. You know, I mean, I have to fire myself if I leave that game.
No, that's the nightcap game.
Yeah, that's better than that's a nightcap. That thing might be a kickoff cap.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a hot deal. Little Peavy gonna get a chance to raise the roof.
Oh yeah, no.
Because he's gonna be playing against a McDonald's All-American. He's trying to prove he's a McDonald's All-American.
Yeah. We wrote about some debuts.
Yeah,
it'll be located on the Elite News.
Yeah. We got our new. Yeah, we want. Hey, congratulatory to the Texas boys basketball staff, led by about a 5-state hoop writer, Oniu Money. Y'all know him as the Prince. Has a new full-page. What do you have, Coach?
Column.
You got a column. You got a whole page or something. He's a sports writer for the Elite News now. So he's gonna be throwing it in there and making it seem like y'all go grab a Elite News newspaper and take a look and see what my main man Oniu Money is doing over there. And I might be throwing my 2 cents in here and there too.
No, you going to?
I think that sounds like a directive.
But yeah.
Go ahead, Coach.
Yeah, but he's gonna be he's part of the big debuts, Micah Peavy. So him, Jemias Ramsey. This is
it's an interesting deal. I mean, it's a really interesting deal. 2 6A teams, right?
Yeah,
they could potentially have to get out of the same region to make a trip to San Antonio.
Yeah.
And you got my man Maxie, who's sitting there, who made it last year, had a disappointment. This is his last year of high school basketball before he moves on to the University of Kentucky with John Calipari.
Right.
This year, next year, you better come watch him for $10, because next year it could cost you a whole lot more. And about 2 years after that, it might cost you a whole lot more. So for $10, you can come see Maxie, Tyrese Maxey, right now at this event for $10. And this same time next year, he'll be in one of the ESPN Kickoff Classics with John Calipari and the Kentucky Wildcats.
Oh yeah. And
then 1 or 2 years after that, you have to get with Adam Silver and let them figure out what's going to happen after that. But we shall see. But you know how it is. That's one of the things we witnessed. I look at Damian Dotson's shoe sitting right here on the stage, and had a chance to text with him a little bit and visit and just tell him how proud I am of him and everything. And now he has worked his way into a solid 30-minute a night role with the New York Knicks as a starter.
It's very interesting because it seems like very reminiscent of Jimmy Butler. Not saying he'll have the same career as Jimmy Butler, but going to their second year, all of a sudden, 25, 30-minute guys, just
different players, same level of toughness, a little bit more of a Steven Jackson type guy, but they both. The craziest part about it is their biggest skill and their biggest thing they bring is their heart.
Yeah.
They just have that kind of a heart and work ethic and they're tough blue collar guys. Some people say that, it's diligence and toughness. It's a funny thing, the culture that we live in right now. We'd rather be called talented and unproductive than be diligent and productive.
Right.
Well, I don't know why that is, but that's some other sad case for a dark room and a couch or something to be discussed. Yeah. But that's one of the sad things that we're in right now. To be called a hard worker, to be called diligent, it's almost like it's kind of, well, we're not a hard worker. We're just talented.
Talented sounds more sexy.
Yeah, right. Anyway, you got a whole lot of bust to go along.
A lot of
with
gray area.
There's a lot of gray areas. A lot of places that talent can fall. They got some places for talent and no production. They got some words for that, And it's sad that it comes about, but we're really excited. But one of the things, and we kicked off, November is hot. One thing you can't stop in this world is time, and we have rolled right into basketball season. We were out in Wichita Falls. It was as normal, chilly. Well, as cold as it has been. You haven't made one of those trips to Wichita Falls when there's ice on the ground yet. But I think in 11 or 12 years, I've probably seen 4 years with ice and sleet and snow during that time. You used to leave here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I used to leave the Houston area, and it'd be 45 degrees or so. And I started working my way farther. And as soon as I got on the other side of, hey, man, what's that white stuff? Man, that looks a little bit like ice. Mm-hmm. Or I have woken up in Wichita Falls and looked outside, and it was sleet and ice and stuff on the ground. So you've dodged that in the early 2 years of covering the event, and who knows if we'll see that again. But it was a little chilly, but it got comfortable as time moved along. But we saw a lot of basketball players, a lot of basketball players. I will let y'all know, and I'll go on record, that I saw the best point guard, regardless of class, in the country this weekend, according to Alan Branch. Mm-hmm. Originally from Fairbanks, Alaska, moved over to Anchorage, Alaska, and now resides in Las Vegas, Nevada. I saw him as an 8th grader, going to be a 9th grader. Thought he was going to be a decent little player, and had a chance to see him again this weekend. And I'm going on record, and, he's DJ Augustine with more pop, more explosion, but the same IQ, feel, understanding, the ability to run a team. Yeah. So, we'll see. I'm not even screaming and hollering a bunch of NBA stuff. I'm just telling you how good of a point guard prospect he is.
Could you see him playing in college right now?
Yeah. Yep. Because he knows how to play between his ears. Mm-hmm. He utilizes his perspective on the game well enough that he doesn't become impaired by the physicality of the game. Now, when I saw him younger as an 8th grader going 9th grade or 9th grade, about 2 years ago, he's a 2020 kid. Mm-hmm. Deshaun Nix is his name, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
He wasn't, ready for the physicality that came along with the process. He was still struggling. He was learning some things, but yeah, I could see him playing college basketball right now because he's shrewd enough and smart enough. I think there would be a slight adjustment to the speed of the game, but I think his IQ and his skill set, his body, his athleticism, all of that's mature enough. Everybody wants to holler the one and done, and yeah, he's gonna fall into the one and done deal. The only thing that kind of keeps him out of it is the fact that he's in a situation where he plays with a summer team, simply fundamental, which is a independent team. The kid has no aspirations to play EYBL, UA, Adidas Gauntlet, or any of that stuff. Is not blown away by that. Is more focused. That's amazing, And I know it's 1,000 dudes sitting there saying we haven't had a chance to corrupt him yet. Branch, that sounds all sexy and cute and everything. Wait until we give him this and we give him that, and he'll forget about developing and becoming a good player. But right now, the kid's just like he was when I saw him 2 years ago. He's still the down to earth kid that has full blown value and understanding of my accountability, my responsibility to myself as a player in developing. The second most player, I was probably kind of a 2A, 2B that I was impressed with this past weekend was the young man, the two young men just north of here up at Little Lamb, which we're going to see them like 2 or 3 times here in the next week or two, right here in the Metroplex. Every time you just see Little Lamb play, you're watching, high level. And it's R.J. Hampton and Trey White, 2022 and 2020. Yeah, 2020 guard R.J. Hampton, which is probably the number 1 point guard in the country according to the national guys. And but I put a lot of plugs in for the Trey White kid. I put a lot of plugs in with Eric Bossy and with the Deshaun Nix kid, because as I operate in the NBA Players Association Top 100 camp process, but as far as the McDonald's things and things of that nature, I don't operate in. Michael Peavy, the kid that we were talking about earlier, we'll be looking forward. He played decent in his first game and tweaked his ankle in the second round, having an opportunity to do what he needed to do there. But we're right here at the Lone Star Sports Show. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back and talk a little bit more about Elite 14 and what you're going to see there and our overall Elite 14 takeaways. And then we're going to be taking it off and going over to watch some college basketball. Basically, tonight is kickoff night for college basketball, so we headed to the gym. So you're getting an abbreviated show, 1 hour. We try to get it all in. Probably wasted a bunch of time on Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys. But we're going to come back in and give you one more segment of high school recruitable basketball here in the Lone Star State. All things sports, all things Texas. Back in 180 seconds with more of the Lone Star Sports Show. Hey, we are back here for our last segment of Tuesday night right here on the Lone Star Sports Show, the Lone Star Sports Network. Today's show is brought to you by FastSmallSports.com. This last segment is brought to you by the Robert Hughes Hall of Fame Classic that'll be going on right there, showcasing Classic going on right there at Wilkerson Grimes Fieldhouse the Friday and Saturday after Thanksgiving. You can take a look at the flyer when it comes up, and maybe it's already been up. I'm not sure. Not my area of expertise there, but one thing is my area of expertise is we got college basketball going on tonight. Abilene Christian, and the majority of the games tonight are mismatch type situations. They're playing some semi exhibition type deals where they're not playing people on the same level. So Abilene Christian Division I school is up 49-22. Stephen F. Austin is up 17-8 on a local group right around here. Right there in Fort Worth, a NAIA school, which is actually a pretty strong program. You have to be a little leery of these situations because some goofy things happen from time to time in these deals. Texas Tech is up 9-1 on Incarnate Word. These are what they call guarantee games in my business. And you say, what are they guaranteeing? They guaranteed a check for coming over and playing and taking that whooping is what they're guaranteed in the experience.
Everyone wins in the process.
Yeah, everyone wins in the process. I remember my son as a Division II player going up to BYU playing in front of 20,000 people. Well, they got a $60,000 check. They took a 27-point whooping to go along with it, but they had a great experience. They got a chance to go up and experience what was in that state, places that there in Utah, I guess, where a lot of them hadn't traveled, different world, what's going on. And what basically happens in these games is that the coach will get out to a 20-point lead, and they'll kind of manage, and then a lot of times the coaches will, and I probably shouldn't say this, they will start to get their work in, if you will. It's like practice. Okay, we're going to work on this. We're going to work on that. We're going to do these things. We want to work on that. And it turns into a glorified scrimmage where everybody walks away and has a scrimmage practice type environment where they're able to go and see who's who and what's what and what's going on. And sometimes you see games that are a lot more equally matched. Hartford and Central Connecticut, 4-point ball game right now, which is a game of equal matching as far as level and league and stuff. So it's a lot going on in the situation, but basketball is going on. You can see some of the big matchups that are going on tonight on ESPN. We got a doubleheader. Who's in that doubleheader? Kentucky, Duke.
You got Kentucky versus Duke. That's the nightcap game. Right now, you got Kansas and Michigan State.
Yeah, tell us about all things sports, all things Texas. We got a point guard playing up there.
So you got Quinn Grimes, went to College Park.
Yeah,
and he's playing for Kansas right now, and he's 4 for 5 from the field. Not 4 for 6 now, 11 points. And then I know we got Marcus Garrett, who has 4 points. Okay. And 1 for 1 from the field. And
all things sports, all things Texas. We got Baylor and TSU playing tonight.
You got McQuaid playing for Michigan State.
We got McQuaid playing over at Michigan State. We got Texas hosting Eastern Illinois. We got my main man, Lou Hill with Rio Grande hosting Texas A&M Commerce, which is just right up the road. I mean, it's more basketball than you can watch and even keep track of. That's what makes these smartphones really, really smart during this time, because there's just so many games to scroll through and get it. We ought to like to, just like you able to approach or have this kind of experience, you'll be having that kind of experience with high school basketball this year in a lot of instances through e-play and the ability to be able to scroll through what's going on and see the stats. Same
really
way
good meeting yesterday.
Yeah. Huh?
Really good meeting.
Yeah. There was a lot of exposure to a lot of good information. LSU, my guys over there, taking on Southeastern Louisiana. You got North Texas is hosting Angelo State, Division II school, and it can get sneaky in those situations when you start playing those schools. So I mean, it's just a lot going. Trying to scroll through and see if we have anything else. It just blows us out with a lot of Texas influence. We actually are going to a game tonight that we're going to be a few minutes late to. So college basketball is on. So this show was almost named the Lone Star Basketball Show. So you probably getting ready to get that version of it over the next few months, and it'll be football, basketball, and whichever one we can get the most of. Sitting there in Northwestern State, had a chance to talk to Jeff Moore over there. UTEP, my main man Rodney Terry is taking on Texas Premium Basin tonight in a Division II team that he's playing over there. So it's just basketball. You could almost say there's 340 Division I schools. 353 Division I schools now, and they're roughly probably somewhere in the neighborhood, I would say, of 200 plus Division I member institutions that are playing in some type of a contest. Some against Division I against Division I, some against Division I against NAIA, some against Division III, some against Division II. But they're playing, and you say, okay, what do you get tonight? Why do they play these teams? It's an opportunity for a marketing situation like we're going into. This is homecoming weekend for UTA. So you bring these guys in, and they come in and they'll play UT Tyler. Oh, that's the alma mater of the Prince. Where the Prince came from. Prince used to be in that group. When they go over there, y'all get extra sandwiches or steaks when y'all take
extra food. You get taken care of.
Get taken care of. Taking a whooping.
Get your ass beat.
Yeah. Feed them up, fatten them for the slaughter. But so they'll be going over because UT University of Texas at Arlington will be playing UT Tyler. What's the I never knew the mascot of UT Tyler. What's the mascot of UT Tyler?
Patriot.
Patriots. Sure. That's right. That's exactly right. So the Patriots are coming over to see the Mavericks tonight. On a little bit of a lopsided matchup, but we're going to go over and take a good solid look at it. And the one beautiful thing about it is that you'll have roughly 26 kids in uniform that are all in pursuit of education while they get a chance to play basketball and living the life. Yep. And so we'll be there taking a look at it. But back to that Elite 14 situation, at TX Boys Basketball and at 5_report was there giving their takeaways. You can read more about it on TexasBoysBasketball.com, 5StateHoopReport.com, and eventually now you'll be reading about some of the things that are going on in the Elite News, which is a weekly publication, and you'll be able to find us on the sports page. We got our mugshots there, and you'll be able to come chime in and see, what you think about another angle on it from the cliff. But we talked about the point guard. I've raved enough about him from to be all the way from Las Vegas. But good player's a good player with Alan Branch. So I apologize for violating my all things sports, all things Texas creed. But good player's a good player.
I think I'm going to violate that one as well.
But I did learn one thing, an amazing thing. I won't get too much into the kid's personal life, but the kid's father lives here in Dallas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he came out to watch his son play. And that was a very enlightening situation, very, very, very good deal. So that was a great deal. But the kid is a tremendous kid in an interview and in a conversation, and looking forward. So he does have some Texas stuff. His father lives here in Texas, so I guess we can claim him a little bit.
Got some Texas roots.
Well, I'm gonna tell all you Texas guys, don't y'all go up there trying that stuff with that man up there in Las Vegas. I done had a good talk with that man up there in Las Vegas, and I think they got it figured out. I know that's not gonna stop him from trying.
No, that's not gonna stop him. You release some intel.
I released some intel.
Yeah.
So, owe me a cup of coffee for telling you which way he went. I'm not responsible for you getting it. I just say which way he went.
Right.
But I feel really, really strong. It'll be interesting. 2, 3, 4 years from now, where this kid ends up being. I always take pride in identifying kids young like that. I remember De'Aaron Fox, I got to find this picture somewhere. I can't find it. I got this picture of De'Aaron Fox, and from shoulder to shoulder, I could actually put my middle finger and my thumb on both of his shoulders almost. Oh, wow. When he was in the 8th grade. But this little rascal could play. I mean, sometimes the way he was playing, and I don't know if I've ever seen him play as well as I thought he played at that particular time, and his ability to do what he did to the game. I feel like in some kind of way that little hypey high school score 50, score 60, shoot all the Trae Young type syndrome, that he was ahead of Trae Young on that process. Just go out there and shoot up all the balls and see how many points you can score. It's like it took away from the purity of the player that he was, because he was controlling the game defensively. He was rebounding the ball, high-level assist guy, and still went and got his 25 or 30 points. And I saw him in a championship of a middle of the road as an 8th grader, just take off and win a championship game as an 8th grader going to the 9th grade in a grassroots event down at the gym right there in Atascocita, Texas. And I knew then, I say, that's the one. Now, I have a picture from that event. I'm going to look it up one of these days. He's playing with the Sacramento Kings right now. But that's the beauty of watching that. You got some stuff going on there?
No,
just keeping up with what's going on.
Yeah, but you talked about the purity of his game. It's funny. I think after up and down rookie season, you could kind of see that in his sophomore year. What in the NBA, just really growing up, just doing what he does best, not really trying to force shots.
I think the NBA is guilty, and this is funny. I know the NBA guys are going to kill me on this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I think the NBA is guilty of pushing these kids out of their natural basketball gift into the promotional pumping of scoring. The more I score, the better I improve my chances of getting to the NBA. And we know in reality, that's not going to totally control your success in the NBA. But that's the game as pure as it comes. We Elite 14, we threw out the point guard, Trey White, the R.J. Hampton. Last two players right quick before we break out and head to the gym.
So my last two were Trey Alexander from Heritage Hall out of Oklahoma.
Yep, I can go with that.
Really score well off the dribble, got to the free throw line a lot. Liked how he played against St. Mark's. Then the next one, Jarrell Colbert.
Jarrell Colbert, no doubt. Yeah, he was. I've seen Jarrell Colbert play a lot of times, and that game may have been one of the best outings I've seen him play in. Be really, really exciting this weekend. The Cowtown Tip-Off Classic. We got plenty going on right there at North Crowley High School, Friday and Saturday. Make sure you get out Saturday at noon, North Crowley High School. That's when it's going to be on, as the folks used to say, like Donkey Kong. All things sports, all things Texas. We finna check out early on you. Headed over to the UTA Maverick Homecoming Celebration right there in Arlington, Texas. Lone Star Sports Show on the Lone Star Sports Network. Yours truly, Alan Branch. Lady Life, keep us where we need to be. And the Prince, honor your money. We are out.